Having installed the two extensions, next thing we're going to do is to write our first program. And to do this, I'm going to head over to the File menu. And from here, I can select Test File or New File. Any of them can work. So let's click on New Text File. So I'm going to head over to the File menu and click on Save As. And in this dialog box, I'm going to specify where I want to save the file. So you have the option of choosing the location where you want your file to be saved. But I'm going to be saving it at this current location. Now I'm going to be giving it a name. And for the name, I'm going to have first program as my name. Then this is an important part. You must give it a Python extension, which is .py. This is very important. Don't fail to provide the extension. So by giving it .py extension, you are specifying that this file is a Python script or a Python file. And another thing you have to keep in mind is that if you look, you can see I used underscore here. So you don't use spaces when providing names or when giving names to your scripts. So instead of using spaces, you can use an underscore. This is especially important when you have compound names. So instead of using spaces, you use underscores to denote spaces. And with this, I'll simply click on Save. And right now I have my Python script. So I can go ahead and start writing my program. So as an example, I'm going to write a simple statement that prints something. So I'm going to have print hello. We'll learn about all this later on. But I just want to demonstrate to you how to execute statements or programs in VS Code. And I'll simply go to File menu and click on Save, or I can just use Ctrl S to save the file. And after this, I can now proceed to run or to execute the program. And towards the right side of the screen, you can see this play icon. I'll simply click on it to run the program. And as you can see in our output tab here, you can see hello displayed. So this is how to run your program in VS Code. Then if you try to run this program, you may get a different output. It may not look exactly the way my own is looking. And this has to do with how I customize my code runner to display output. So if you want to have a similar output like my own, you have to make small changes on your VS Code. And to do this, you simply hold Ctrl Shift and P. And here you're going to search for preferences. So you can have preferences. And I'm going to be selecting this first one here, which is Open User Settings. So this is a JSON file. I'll click on it. So if you want your output to display the way my own is displaying, you simply type this into your settings.json. Be sure to type it correctly the way it is written here. And with this, you should be able to have your program displayed the way my own is displaying. So this is basically how you write your programs in VS Code and as well run them. But before we complete, I want you to keep in mind that VS Code is an integrated development environment, and as such, you can be able to use it to write programs, test programs, debug programs, and so on. And if you look at this interface, you can see it's a sort of divided into two partitions. We'll have the upper part and the lower part. So this very part is what we call the text editor. This is where you type in your program. And for the lower part, this is where you see your program displayed or the output of your program. Apart from running your program from the code runner, you can as well run the program from the terminal. You start by typing Python. You can as well type Python 3, but let's stick to Python. Then you provide the name of the file, which is firstprogram.py, and you hit enter. And this executes the program. So if you want to clear the terminal, you simply type clear and the terminal will clear. So this is also another way of running programs apart from using the code runner.